Pumping up, pumping high, pumping up, it really feels like flying. Coming up, just like a lion.
Boom! Okay, now serious guys. Workout number 3 today. We're starting off with some power movements, 5-3-1 system, doing benches again. Let's see what we can do in order to do weight. As I have not been lifting or benching or doing any direct push movements for 4 weeks, I hope I maintain some strength, if not stronger or weaker. You never know. Along with that, we are going to do some accessory work for the back, also the biceps and the muscle. We are building the muscle with some hypertrophy work. So let's dig into the training. Boom, baby. So here we are starting off with some rotator cuffs with some loose weights here, and warming up, my joints, my shoulder joints. Before starting off any chest exercise movement or shoulder exercise movement, I'm always doing this, just warming up, get the blood flow in there, preparing the ligaments, the tendons, everything. So I don't start off very cold. And today we are just doing a power hyper split, day 3, upper body. And as you can see how I warm up here my chest. So previously we did some rotator cuffs for the shoulders. Now we are pumping up the chest. Not really pumping up, but really get the blood flow in there, you know, before I start off with the bench press. And also start to warm up those elbows. I tend to get, I have a pretty sensitive elbows when it comes to bench presses and all this stuff. So here we're starting off with a warm-up weight. Again, weight acclimation sets here. These are not counting. Everything in my schedule or on my daily exercise menu, I only have the amount of sets, and those are working sets, and every set previous to that for warming up, it's not counted to it. And you don't want to get too heavy with the warming up sets, because again, it's still a warming up set. You don't want to feel any strain on the muscle or pump whatsoever. Just get the blood flow in there, that's it. And what you can see here is, before I'm starting off with the actual bench press itself, I firstly want to focus on how my posture is, okay? I want to have good form. It all starts with the foundation, guys, okay? If you want to have good bench press, keep this rule in mind. How you start is how you end. And this is actually for pretty much every exercise you do. Get your mind right. You know, people often think in terms of point E to point B, and that's the way to go. No, it's all about having good form, relax, flat on the ground, and this is your basis where you're going to start from. Back a little bit arched, as you can see me here doing. I want to have my back straight on the bench before I start off the actual exercise. Now, the bench press itself, I tend to do more like a power lift bench press. And the reason being and how to do it is actually by chucking those elbows, okay? I see a lot of people keep their elbows flared out. If this is what works for you, you need to do that. But for me, because I got a lot of stress from my elbows, I want to get some stress from that off when I'm lowering the weight. And you'll see it in a bit. So chuck in those elbows, and when you come up, flare it out a little bit, and then again chuck in. Now I'm doing this over and over again, so it's became natural to me to chuck in those elbows so I can keep the weight moving. It's no problem at all. This is actually the 531 system bench press, so Jim Wendler system, where we have some power sets and also the big but boring sets, and that's more accessory work, getting the volume in. Now we're doing a bend over row here. I like to do it on the bench press. Oftenly the gym is so busy, crowded, I don't have place to get in those squat racks and do my bend over rows. You can also do pendlay rows, it's no problem at all. Also here, before I'm starting off the exercise, I want to have my back straight, arched, and keep it like that. And yeah, pull the weight to the bottom of your stomach. The higher you pull in the bar, the higher you will actually, the higher you will accentuate the upper part of your back muscles. Now here, zone in moment again. Really try to push myself here, and always doing that, and you need to find a pattern to do it. Everybody got its own pattern. One is screaming, the other one is it needs to have a bitch slap on his back to get himself pumped. I'm just doing it by getting to the bar, thinking, okay, man, I'm gonna kill you right now. And what I do is I inhale and exhale. So 3 times I chuck in my breath, and then I take another one big chunk of breath, and then I start off the exercise. This is what works for me. You need to find your own mental pattern, you know, when to start off a heavy set or a particular exercise where you really need to focus. Now we have here some seated rows, some accessory work for the back. We did already a big exercise like bend over rows, and this is the secondary exercise for back. You can keep with machines or whatever you like, man. Whatever works for you. Don't do things that you're not comfortable with, you know. Just do things what works out for you. This is also a focus pattern of me, blowing wind into my hands. Don't know why. Sounds a bit crazy, but it's just how I would like to do it. Keeping my back straight. You see also a lot of people stretch out all the way back when it comes to seated bend over rows. Seated rows. I don't like that. I like to keep the tension on my lats, and that's how I pretty much do it. I don't need to stretch out and exaggerate on the stretch part. I do stretch outs, but just keeping my form stable, not moving my body too much. Here we got some lat pull downs, and you can try some hand placements here. I oftenly use a placement before the bar is actually curving, but now I'm trying a different one, variation, just to feel if I'm getting another tension on the muscle. You know, just find out what works. As you can see here, I have it on the straight part of the bar, and yeah, you should try it. Getting it always to my chest, never pull into my neck. I don't like the way to pull it in my neck. Reason being, my body just don't like it. It's not really natural for my biomechanics to pull the bar in my neck. I feel a lot of stress on my shoulders when I do that, so I leave that. Just pull the bar to my chest to really get the tension on the lats. Now we are doing some bicep work here, and this is some alternating dumbbell curls. You can do them seated, standing, whatever you like. Yeah, pretty heavy weight here. Don't know what this is actually, but keeping my form, my posture, and I always say you can cheat a little bit as long you are controlling the weight. You're not able, or you don't want to throw the weight up, you know, where your whole body comes into play and you're working with your shoulders and everything. No, you just want to focus on your bicep. what I always say to clients is keep your upper arm against your body and try to pull back your elbows, and from that position curl up. Of course, when it becomes heavy, the lower part of the exercise can be pretty hard to get the weight up. So therefore you can cheat a little bit as long you are handling the weights also on the way down. This is pretty critical, guys, otherwise you can leave your dumbbells on the ground and better do something else, because just want to keep working on those biceps. From another perspective, it's pretty cool actually to see during the bicep exercise how the back, the scapula and the lats are working throughout the whole exercise. So now here you can see the weight is pretty heavy, trying to get the weight up for just a little bit, and when it comes up I can pull it through my biceps upwards. Now we're transitioning to the second bicep exercise, hammer curls here. And hammer curls, you are targeting the brachialis of the bicep, the outer part. And I actually don't want to focus too a lot on this one, because I have, for my genetic profile, my body, I already have big brachialis. And if I'm overdeveloping that, man, it will let disappear my peak, my bicep peak. I don't have a real large bicep peak, so maybe keeping it low volume when it comes to hammer curls. Oh, some cool lightning here, half natty lightning they called it also. Just getting the weight up, getting the work done, and it was actually the hardest week of training ever, and after this particular week I was burned out, man. I needed to back off a little bit, taper down the weights and the amount of volume I was lifting. So that's what we are doing right now. So well, this was basically it. Day number 3, guys. Day number 3. Next exercise videos will be in my pre-contest for the INBA World Championships.